So what is Germany? Why is Germany? How is Germany? The history of Germany oversimplified. Well, I play Sudoku. So let's go. Let's start. Alright. I also chose a difficult puzzle because why not? The history of Germany can be traced over 2 millennia ago. So roughly 2,000 years. There were some like tribes, Saxons and Franks that occupied that region, and they are the ancestors of Germany. I wanted to say my ancestors, but you know, I don't look that way. And there's nothing more to say about that. So we jump to the Middle Ages. So we have the great Charlemagne. So yeah, in Germany we call it KARRL der Grosse. So he was basically the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Cool guy, cool dude. Yes. Wow, it's so hard to solve a Sudoku while explaining history. And back then, also, the religion that was primarily represented is Catholicism. So it's Christianity, especially Catholicism. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So that is kind of the most important thing during the Middle Ages, and then we jump from the late Middle Ages to the 16th century. What is so important in the 16th century? The most important thing that people will tell you regarding Germany is the Protestant Reformation. I'm sure you guys have all heard of the name Martin Luther, or as we call him, Martin Luther. That's just a dude, and he wrote a couple of theses, you know, like 95 or something, I don't know. And he was challenging the authority of Catholic churches. And that caused a lot of tension because Catholic churches were like, oh no, we don't like that. We don't like that our power and authority is getting challenged. And I mean, before that, you gotta understand that the state, the government, and church was simply one unity. Okay, and Luther is challenging them. A bit of tension going on during the whole 16th century just because of religion. And after a while, I mean, the 95 Theses happened, I think, in 1517 or something. I did not fact check this, so hey, we got another digit, let's go. So it happened around 1517, and roughly 100 years later, we got the biggest war, or the longest war in Europe, on German soil, which is the 30-year war. This war happened because both parties, the religion parties, Catholicism and the Protestant people, thought, no, me don't like you, me go fight you. And so they were fighting. In regards of Germany, essentially after 30 years, the Peace of Westphalia ended the war 30 years later, and we have a river called Rhine, or as we Germans call the Rhine. The Rhine was a perfect separation of people who were Catholic and people who were Protestant or evangelic. Imagine Germany, and imagine there is a river. The river separates the natural territory between Protestant and Catholics. How cool is that? And I'm not getting far with my puzzle. Jesus. What happened during the 17th to the 19th century? It's such a long period of time, so I'm gonna simplify it. First, we are introduced to science, baby. Enlightenment. Science. People getting more rational, you know? We're like, oh no, there's gotta be a logical, rational, scientific explanation. Not everything is God. Not everything is religion. And then we have culture. Introduction of Romanticism, introduction of one or a few of the most famous and most insane artists that we know of. Ludwig van Beethoven, Mozart, or the German godfather of music, Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach. Yes, all happened during this huge time. And also famous writers, German writers, Goethe Institute. When you learn German, you go to Goethe Institute. Yes, we have Schiller as well. So some big names during that time. But what else happened? Industrial Revolution. We are starting to make steel and some wars and conflicts. I mean, we have the War of Spanish Succession, the 7-Year War, Napoleon was going crazy, Prussia, as we Germans know, Preußen. Preußen? Why am I sounding like that? I'm so sorry. That's so wrong considering that we are gonna talk about Hitler. Whatever. Prussia was getting more and more powerful, you know, they were leveling up, so to speak. Okay, I gotta focus on that puzzle for a sec. Jesus. During the early 19th century, Prussia got so massive that the German Empire existed. Before that, Napoleon managed to dissolve the Holy Roman Empire, and then Prussia took this opportunity and unified Germany in a sense. And the German Empire was led by Bismarck, Otto von Bismarck. We still have this brand, a water brand. Delicious water. World War I happened. So why did World War I happen? You gotta understand, huge countries and nations are getting more and more powerful. They were prepping up their military due to the Industrial Revolution. They were like scaling up. Imperialism was a big thing, and nationalism was a big thing. Tension started to happen. Wow, who would have thought? Tension within between super countries? Wow, did not think about that one. So we had like two big alliances. We have the Triple Entente, the Triple Entente, which was led by France, Russia, and Great Britain. By the way, Entente, pretty sure it just means alliance, but it's fancy since it's French. And we have the Triple Alliance with Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Spoiler ahead, Italy is a little snitch, a little traitor. Not that I care. By the way, the Triple Alliance, we call it Dreibund. I should stop talking like that. Because of all these ethnic and nationalist tensions, we have another region that is really important, that is the catalyst for World War I to happen, which is the Balkan era. A lot of different ethnic groups and a lot of political ideas and a lot of tension going on. So we have what we call the Balkan powder keg, sort of the middle of two alliances, and there's a lot of tension going on, and because of this one incident, historians say that this was the ignition for World War I, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand from Austria-Hungary, committed by a Serbian nationalist in Sarajevo. By the way, Sarajevo is not in Serbia. I think it's in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I forgot the name. I did not do a lot of research. It was all mostly out of my ass. So if there's any factual errors, I don't care. I was just trying to solve a sudoku puzzle while talking about this. So anyway, this happened and World War I happened. And the aftermaths of World War I that is relevant to Germany is the Treaty of Versailles. A lot of French names, man. A lot of French names. And that was lucky, whatever I did there. Yeah, the Treaty of Versailles penetrated Germany hard. It effed their asses, you could say. Besides territorial loss, we had huge debt to pay because, well, we initiated the war kind of with our alliances, allies. Italy switched sides midway. That's what I meant with Italy being a bitch. Not that I care. I'm not even German from blood, so by blood, English. 14 minutes puzzle. Jesus Christ, help me. Oh, sausage finger. I'm so sorry. I was distracted by myself. So we had a lot of debt to pay. We had a temporary government, the Weimar Republic. You could say it's dog ass. And yeah, hyperinflation is a thing. Everything cost a lot and people were not able to afford everything. You would literally use wheels of money to buy everyday goods, necessities. So we were literally, or they were literally not surviving, and that resulted into rage and hatred in the people's minds, you know? Because you always want to blame someone for your misfortune. And so the nationalism grew even bigger. And eventually, that was the perfect opportunity for the nationalist party, the NSDAP, Nationalsozialistische, what is DA? Yeah. I am so prepared for this. Oh yeah. So this happened. They got elected 1933. World War II then happened. 1939. Do I have this in my notes? I don't. Well, whatever. I think it's 1939. And so, okay, it's not funny, but eventually, you guys all heard these terms. Blitzkrieg happened, so Germany was preparing its army and weapons. Dude, sorry, I am so distracted. Okay. Underground, because they were actually not allowed to do anything, but they did anyway. He didn't give a fuck. So eventually, they invaded Poland, invaded France in a very nasty way. So Blitzkrieg means blitz war, meaning I do not declare when I will attack you, and I'm so distracted. And I will fuck you anyway. And I just solved the puzzle. Great. So anyway, Hitler got too greedy, attacked too many countries at the same time, alliances formed, and Germany got fucked eventually 1945 and had to surrender unconditionally. The aftermath, you guys all know, separation of Berlin, for example, of Germany. Cold War was happening. The Berlin Wall was happening. The United States of America helped Europe to build up again using the Marshall Plan, and Germany was saved by that plan. So Germany was economically able to rebuild itself, but we weren't allowed to rebuild our army. So our military is shit till this day. And during that time, we have some constitutions within Europe that help us to sort of unify economy, to make everything easier, and to not make the living hell out of everybody again. So we have the European Coal and Steel Cooperation Association, I forgot, 1951. And then we have the European Union. Eventually, the Soviet Union fell off. Germany was reunited once again. The Berlin Wall fell 1989, and the currency of euro got established in 2002, and that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and let me draw the next video idea. That's always important that I document this. No way! Okay, now that we covered the history of Germany, how about we cover the history of China, Chinese history. God damn, I swear, I'm grabbing it out of all these ideas and I picked similar topics. Jesus.